Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Noble Network College Fair. We're very excited to have you participating in this event today. We have some fantastic schools here with us. Each will have about 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer any of your questions. My name is Greg, and I'll be your facilitator today. Before we get started, just a few housekeeping items. As a reminder, your camera and your microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on the bottom of your screen to type any questions to our presenters at any time. If you have a particular question for a particular school, please try to include that in your question as well. As a reminder, this is just one of many different sessions happening. Be sure to check out the entire schedule on the website. And lastly, this presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/noble, N-O-B-L-E. And I'll drop that address into the chat for information as well. With that, I'd like to now turn it over to our first presenter, Albion College.
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining today for today's virtual college fair. I'm happy to be here. I'm going to leave my contact information in the chat, so feel free to reach out to me at any of those contacts for any questions or information that you may need about Albion College. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and get started. I understand we have 6 minutes, so I'm going to try to go through everything pretty quickly. Again, feel free to chat me any questions that you guys may have. So again, my name is Robert Ryan. I am the Associate Director of Admissions at Albion College. I'm an Albion College alum, graduated in 2018. I played basketball at Albion and was a part of 2 different student-led groups. One was called BSA, and the other was called SAC. So what we do is we try to give you all the information that you may need in order to make a decision for you to go to college. So if you need any information on majors that we have on campus at Albany College, if you need any help with scheduling a campus tour, that's what we're here to do. That's what I'm here to do. We are here to be a resource for you. So feel free again to reach out if you have any questions regarding anything I'm talking about in this presentation today. So first off, by enrollment, about 1,500 students attend Albion. Our average class size is 16 students per class. Student to faculty ratio is 11:1. I want this to be important because, as you can see, those are obviously a little bit smaller than your bigger state schools. But there are some benefits in the smaller classrooms. You get more one-on-one attention from your professors. Student to faculty ratio being 11:1. Even if you're on Albion in the town shopping groceries, you're probably running into a professor or staff member, right? I think that's important because the more familiar faces that you see in your area, the more comfortable you are in your surroundings. We do have average ACT, SAT that you see up there. There are asterisks around that because we are optional for next year. So feel free to submit your test scores if you like, but it's not a requirement. Average GPA is 3.6. Obviously, we have students that test higher than that or lower than that. If you have 2.8 to 2.9 GPA, you are automatically admitted at Albany College. The 2 things I really want you guys to pay attention to is the placement rate and our 4-year graduation rate. 97% of our students end up starting their first professional job or graduate school 6 months after they graduate from Albany College. Obviously, you can see our 4-year graduation rate is 98.5%. So those are 2 of the main reasons why students decide to go to college, to end up graduating in 4 years and on time, and to start their first job or graduate school. We make sure that we do a good job of helping our students get to whatever destination that they want to be after they graduate. So purpose. So we those 3 words that you see up there, we like to say that we do those for our students. So we help students find a purpose at Albion College, whether is that a career path or helping them join a student-led group organization. We like to say that we help students find their career path of belonging. You're going to find your support systems and groups at Albion College. We takes 3 students to start a new group at Albion College, so I'm going to speak about that towards the presentation, but we have a lot of different support systems for our students so they won't feel alone at Albion. And obviously all of those things are great, but it doesn't really matter if you're not taking action. So when you hear the word action, pick up study and opportunities, internships, and student research opportunities as well that we offer here at Albion. So this is a list of our popular majors that we have on campus. The more popular majors are our science majors, so biology and chemistry. Our English majors and our education majors are really very popular as well, and our business majors. But this is a quick overview of our majors that we offer at Albion College. One thing I do want you guys to pay attention to is the liberal arts skills. That's what you're going to get with an Albion College degree. Even if you're a business major like myself, for an example, you're going to take classes in other subjects so you can be more well-rounded graduate by the time you graduate from Albion. And we are an undergraduate institution, so we do not have any graduate schools, but we do have pre-professional pathways for students that want to go into any of these areas and subjects as well. And all of the pre-professional pathways that you see right here, there are institutes that are tailored to each of those subjects that you see in front of you. Again, if you have any specific questions, feel free to chat me and I'll be happy to give you more information on these pre-professional pathways. Experiential learning opportunities. We have student research cadaver labs right on campus in our science research building, where our students have the opportunity to work with our professors side by side and work with them with different lab projects. We also have opportunities for students to stay on campus throughout the summer and get paid a stipend to work with those professors as well. We do have opportunities for students to work and research outside of the campus, and I'm going to talk about that in the next couple of slides with study abroad opportunities. Clubs and organizations. We have over 100 different clubs and organizations at Albany College. This picture right here is called our Britain Dash, where all of our clubs and organizations set up tables in our quad, and they basically just recruit other students and give information out on what their group or organization do. Cool thing about us being a smaller institution in Albany College, only takes 3 students to start a new group on campus. So if there's a group or organization that we necessarily don't have, you and a couple of your classmates and friends could start a new group on campus. I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story about a group of freshman boys from Chicago a couple of years ago. They was interested in starting a video gaming group on campus, but we necessarily didn't have that. They end up starting that group. And if you fast forward now, you could also get recruited for esports at Albany College. So those students may have made their mark on campus early as freshmen at Albany College. So that was a pretty cool story when I first heard it. Internships and field work. This is an example of where our students are going to do internships and eventually work at. A cool thing that I found out as an undergrad student at Albany College is that Google comes to Albion and performs workshops where they hire students on the spot and they give students internships on the spot as well. So I think that's pretty cool. And it's an example of where our students are going to work after they graduate. Understand that we are short on time. We do have study abroad opportunities. Again, if you guys have any questions about studying abroad, athletics and fine arts, and other support systems that we have here on campus, feel free to reach out to me with my communications in the chat, or feel free to text or email me.
Thank you very much for that information. We'd now like to hand it over to our next school, Grand Valley State University.
All right, hopefully everyone can see my presentation. My name is Wallace Holder. I am your Chicago Regional Representative for Grand Valley State University, so I'm happy to be here with you today. You'll see my contact information is on your screen. It's holderw@gvsu.edu, so I'm always happy to answer your questions. Please feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to be of assistance to you. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with everything. So Grand Valley State University, we're one of 15 public universities in the state of Michigan. We're just a 2.5-hour car ride from Chicago. If you want to have a new experience in a new state, we're just on the other side of Lake Michigan. So we are considered a large school. We have about a little over 20,000 students who attend, but the majority of our students are actual freshmen through seniors in college. So undergraduates make up the largest portion of our student population. And we want our students to have an amazing experience at Grand Valley, to feel supported and be successful on their academic journey. So some of the things that we offer to our students are free tutoring services, appointments with licensed clinical therapists on campus at no additional cost, just to address your mental health as well as your academic well-being. And when you come to our campus, you are welcomed with a care team. And so that care team will be comprised of a faculty member who will check in with you from time to time, as well as your actual academic advisor. So whether you have a major in mind or not, there is going to be someone with you to basically guide you along the way toward all of the goals that you have for yourself, and just to kind of help you become the individual that you're meant to be. Grand Valley wants to be a supportive place as you take that journey. So not only is the academic at Grand Valley one that's pretty vibrant and offers a lot of opportunities, but we want you to take what you learn in the classroom and apply it in the real world. So if you have ambitions to travel, to go to other parts of the world, or even just other parts of the country, Grand Valley has thousands of programs for you to take advantage of. Specifically, when it comes to study abroad, we have over 4,000 programs available to you. And when it comes to getting that hands-on experience in general, about 85% of Grand Valley students take part in experiential learning. So the majority of our students definitely have a chance to apply everything that they're learning and really make those professional connections. So Grand Valley, we're located in a town called Allendale, Michigan. So we're right outside the second largest city in Michigan, which happens to be Grand Rapids. And hopefully you can see the video that's in front of you. This particular video will show you aspects of our downtown Grand Rapids campus. And so that particular campus puts you closer to, oops, I think I might have paused that. There we go. Puts you closer to opportunities for internships with over 17 multinational corporations, and it provides all of the services that you can find in our Allendale campus. So career advising, as well as food services, on-campus housing, and even a bus system that connects our campuses, as well as connects you to opportunities for fun in the city of Grand Rapids. And so in addition to all of these things, we want you to have a vibrant social life. So there's over 300 organizations you can join at Grand Valley. 100 of those are related to your academics. So if you're a psychology student, you can join Psi Chi, which is an academic fraternity for psychology students. If you like to play sports or want to audition for a play, you can do those things. You don't have to be a theater major to participate in theater productions at Grand Valley. Maybe you're a leader in your community when it comes to serving the community. We have service and advocacy groups, as well as if you're interested in Greek life, we have 30 fraternities and sororities that are available to you. So I know I don't have a lot of time to cover this, but we definitely want you to be as academically prepared as possible in high school. Our application process is pretty simple at Grand Valley. We'll look at a couple things: your high school transcript, the application for admission, which you can find on our website, and then any personal information that you submit in the application. All of this will be taken into consideration as we look at merit scholarships as well as admission to Grand Valley. So one of the things to keep in mind is our application process usually opens up in August, prior to your senior year starting. And you can go online, fill out the application, ask your high school to send your transcript. And at this point, test scores are optional. So what that means is you are not required to send them. However, if you are the student who's taken a standardized test and done pretty well on those tests, please feel free to still send those scores to us, because we have some scholarships that might require a test score if you're someone who scored on the higher end. But we also do have test optional scholarships at Grand Valley. So merit scholarships, grants, loans, student employment, these are all the ways that we can help make a Grand Valley education affordable. For the last 25 years consecutively, Grand Valley has been one of the 100 best college buys in the nation. So we have an Office of Financial Aid and Scholarships that's dedicated to helping you learn more about these opportunities. But please know, when you apply to Grand Valley, we definitely make sure to consider you not only for admission, but for merit-based scholarships that come from the admissions office. So we will notify students about these opportunities in their acceptance packet. And here's my contact information again. Wallace Holder is my name. holderw@gvsu.edu is my contact information. Like I said before, I'm happy to answer your questions. Also check out our website at gvsu.edu/admissions to find out about all of our virtual and in-person visit opportunities and ways to even set up a one-on-one appointment with me or one of my colleagues to learn more about the university. So thank you so much for your time. So happy to be a part of today's event.
Thank you very much. We'd now like to turn it over to Dominican University.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Noble Network students. I'm dropping my information in the chat right now. And I'm going to share my screen, talk a little bit about Dominican University. So Dominican University, we are a small school, what we call a small school about big results. A little bit about some of the rankings from U.S. News and World Report. We are ranked as #1 for best value in Illinois, #10 in the best regional universities in the Midwest for back-to-back years, but #3 for social mobility in the Midwest, which means we take unrepresented students and being able to help them find a job or go into grad school or med school 1 year after graduation. And we've always been in the top 3 in the Midwest for U.S. News and World Report and on those rankings. A little bit about Dominican community that knows you more than just your name. So you're not that young lady or young man in the back of the class with a blue jacket on. You're the person that they address you by name. So you have that 10-to-1 student to faculty ratio, average class size about 15-to-1, and there's no lecture halls here at Dominican University. Here's a listing of our top 10 majors, but we do have 50 different majors here at Dominican. As you see, top 3 are nursing, psychology, and pre-med. Our nursing program actually has a direct entry program, direct entry nursing program, and then a legacy program. Our business program is actually a 5-year program where 3.5 years receive your bachelor's and 1.5 years receive your master's. And then we have a unique major in fashion design. But I always tell students that our #1 unofficial major is called I don't know or undecided. And you don't have to declare a major until your first semester of your junior year. Here at Dominican, you're going to receive a lot of support. You have free tutoring. Every student has a first-year advisor and a peer advisor. And students coming from a Noble Network schools, we actually have a Noble Network peer advising group. So you're actually taught or get connected with someone from a different school and then network to be able to help you as you adjust into your first year here at Dominican University. Also, I'd like to pinpoint this. We actually have an office called the Center for Cultural Liberation. It's kind of like a multicultural office at different college campuses, but the Center for Cultural Liberation is actually something that all students will be involved with, so be able to connect with the same diversity or intermix with other different diversity backgrounds or any students of all walks of life to be able to feel comfortable here at Dominican University. Mentioned about internships as one of those support services. We actually have a career development office here at Dominican University. And here's a listing of some of the places that our students are doing internships. So if you're looking at digital cinema, working for NBC Universal Media, looking for business, looking for Fifth Third Bank, for finance, or if you're looking for research, the Argonne National Laboratory. Every student that comes to Dominican is going to have some type of internship opportunity here at the institution. We are one of the first 2 schools that have offered study abroad. This is actually one of our students that did an internship / study abroad for the Shedd Aquarium and got a trip to Nassau, Bahamas. But the different countries that we offer are Italy, France, Spain, Ghana, South Africa, Costa Rica, just to name a few different countries that we have for study abroad. And you get to go overseas with a Dominican professor. Also, you're able to start a club organization here at Dominican University. We have 35 different clubs and organizations, ranging from academic clubs like our business or psychology club to special interests like a gaming club or a Latino poetry club that we have, to different ethnic clubs like a Black Student Union, a Latino Student Alliance, and a Polish club. And then our #1 club, even though we're a small private liberal Catholic school, we have a university ministry club that's open for all religious backgrounds here at the institution. We are Division III for athletics. We actually have 12 intercollegiate sports teams here at Dominican, so we do not offer any athletic scholarships, but we have very competitive programs. Matter of fact, our men's volleyball team is ending their season this weekend, and they are ranked #2 in the nation for men's volleyball for Division III, and looking forward to go back-to-back years in the NCAA tournament, hopefully in the semifinals again or in the finals. We're actually starting 2 new sports for the fall of 2023. So students that want to go into men's bowling or students that want to go into cheerleading and stunt, we're actually going to have those programs coming up in the fall of 2023. So what makes a Dominican student? First of all, our average freshman come in about a 3.6 GPA. The minimum requirements are a 2.7 GPA. And what you do is actually we are rolling admissions, so you can apply starting the end of your junior semester or junior year, usually around August. And we actually have a preferred admission policy by November 15th. If you apply, have your transcripts in, you will be able to get your official acceptance letter, scholarship, and also potentially financial aid before the holiday break. We're part of the Common App, and we also have our own application here. And all we require you is to submit a personal statement, one of the prompts in the Common App or our own application, and any official transcripts. So we're test blind or test optional, so we do not require you to submit an ACT or SAT score here at the institution. We do have different merit-based scholarships ranging from $11,000 to $21,000. Students that want to live on campus, they also get a $3,000 resident life grant. And then students that are involved in some type of community-based organization like TRIO, Upper Bound, Bottom Line, Erie House Foundation, any of those programs, you're able to be eligible for our success scholarship that we have here. And then also if you have a brother or sister or a parent or a grandparent that went to Dominican, there's also different money as well too. So just to wrap up, this is our cost for our 22-23 academic year. So you're looking about $36,500 for our tuition and fees, but room and board is additional $11,000, so we're looking at $47,550. But not all students are paying that full price here at the institution. Also, want to welcome students to come to campus. I know your spring break is coming up pretty soon. We're only about 15 minutes away for most campuses, but you can schedule individual or one-on-one virtual appointment. And we actually have some Saturday campus tour days as well too. So I'm putting in here is actually the contact people that recruits out of the Noble Network, myself, and then also my colleague, Rosa Valera. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dominican University. We'd now like to turn it over to our next presenter, Lake Forest University.
Thank you so much. Let's see. All right, if I have any issues, please let me know. But thank you everyone for being here. I'm so glad that you're taking the time to learn about some wonderful colleges today. I am Karina Henderson, the admissions counselor, or one of the admissions counselors at Lake Forest that work with students from the Noble Network schools. I do have a coworker, Melissa Ramirez, who also might work with you in the future. So Lake Forest is located in Lake Forest, Illinois, which is 30 miles north of the heart of Chicago. So if you're familiar with the metro, we're about an hour ride from the city. We have 1,650 students from almost every state and over 100 different countries. So if you're looking to be, somewhat close to home, but still have some independence and be in a different type of environment and be on a smaller campus that truly is global, Lake Forest might be a good option for you to look at. Overall, we're almost at half and half for students from Illinois and then outside of Illinois. And of course, a lot of our students from Illinois are coming from the Chicagoland area. There are four main aspects of the Lake Forest experience that really stand out to me. And we'll go over all four of these today. So the first is our pragmatic liberal arts curriculum, our career preparation, our location, and then our values of diversity, equity, and inclusion. So at Lake Forest, as a liberal arts college, we emphasize having a lot of agency in the types of classes that you take. So our average class size is 19 students, and we have a 12-to-1 student professor ratio. So this is another type of school where we really do pay attention to our students' needs. Your professors know you by name, and they pay attention to making sure that you're doing well in school and outside of the classroom, because the college isn't just about class. There's so much more that goes into your college experience. Our students can major or minor in either 2 majors and 1 minor, or 1 major and 2 minors. So you have 3 subjects in total that you are able to pursue. You can find all of our majors online, and we do have a self-design major. So if there's something that you're interested in that we don't have, you can create it yourself, which is pretty cool. Of course, you want to think about all the extracurricular activities you can do outside of the classroom. So we have over 80 student organizations. More than half of our students participate in athletics. We are a Division III school, and we have 25 varsity sports for students to participate in. And then there's always campus events going on. I'm even impressed with the types of events that we've done virtually throughout the pandemic. So you never get bored at Lake Forest. Our liberal arts curriculum also emphasizes a pragmatic approach to learning. So you make sure that our students have some kind of experiential learning requirement completed to graduate. That can be through an internship, research, study abroad, or we do have a program in the South Loop where you can live on a second campus and participate in professional development while you're going to class downtown. Something to note with study abroad, all the scholarships that you receive, you can use for your study abroad program. Of course, all of that leads into professional development. We have the Career Advancement Center at Lake Forest with 11 professional staff members who are here to support you really from day one. You get paired with a career advisor based on your interests, so either your academic interest or your professional interests. So you always have someone who truly is an expert in the industry or in an industry similar to what you want to enter to get personalized support that way. And then of course our location, I don't have to tell you all about Chicago, you know Chicago. But like I mentioned, we're only an hour train ride away from downtown Chicago. And the Metro station in Lake Forest is about a 10-minute walk. So it's really easy to use public transportation to get into the city. Professors will oftentimes take students on field trips into the city. And then of course I mentioned the Loop program that we have. So you certainly can take advantage of Chicago in a new way as a college student, different than what you've already experienced as a student. And then our values of diversity, equity, inclusion. I always like to emphasize the built-in support that we have for our students of a variety of identities and backgrounds. So I like to highlight the Office of Intercultural Relations, which supports all social and cultural needs of our students. So for example, our multicultural student organizations come through that office. Our Health and Wellness Center, of course, supports your mental health and your physical health and is available for students to take free counseling sessions at the Health and Wellness Center. And then we have the Center for Academic Success, which provides tutoring for our students. You can also work as a peer tutor in that center if you want to. And then you can get any kind of academic accommodations you might need. Maybe you have ADHD or dyslexia, you can get support there. Now on to financial aid, because I know that's often something that students want to really talk about, which I completely understand. The majority of our students do receive some type of aid at Lake Forest. You'll hear about the FAFSA, which is an online application for US citizens and permanent residents to complete. You also might hear about the CSS profile. At Lake Forest, only international students will complete that profile online. And then we do have support for undocumented students. So if you're an undocumented student, you can feel comfortable reaching out to me and I will provide support for you that way and help you figure out what you need to do to receive financial aid. We also have merit-based aid. Merit-based aid is based on your academic performance in high school or your test score. Lake Forest is test optional, so you do not have to submit a test score if you don't want to. We've been test optional for a long time, we'll continue to be, so it's not just a pandemic thing. We use your weighted GPA or your test score to determine your scholarship. So you can find this chart online to look at in more detail later. We also have the Forrester Flagship Program for students who complete the FAFSA and are Illinois residents and are eligible for the federal Pell Grant to receive 100% of your tuition covered. If you don't know what that means, it's okay. We handle it all for you once you submit the FAFSA. Finally, we're on the Common App and we have our own application. It's free. We have some pretty standard requirements like your transcript, a recommendation letter, and then as I mentioned, we're test optional. You will complete an interview if you choose to apply test optional. And then if you want to learn more, you can go on a visit to campus or you can look at a virtual tour, and I will put my contact information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Our next university is the University of Vermont.
Hello, everyone. I'll go ahead and get my screen shared here. All right, very good. Well, hello, Noble Network students. My name is Ashley Brown, and I serve as one of the Regional Associate Directors in the Office of Admission at the University of Vermont, and I am stationed regionally in Chicago here. So if you all have any questions after today's presentation, please feel free to reach out to me. All right, so the University of Vermont is located about 14 hours away from Chicago. That is if you're driving, but if you're flying, we can get you there in about 2 hours on a direct flight right out of O'Hare. So in terms of accessibility, it's really easy to get to the University of Vermont. We are a medium-sized institution. We have just over 10,000 undergraduate students on our campus, and you all will notice that the ratio to in-state to out-of-state students is a little bit unique, especially for public universities. So 73% of our students are coming from out of state, while 27% of those students are native to Vermont. We offer over 100 different programs on our campus. So some of our more popular programs include business, psychology, environmental studies and sciences, as well as the health sciences as well. So any students looking to go into nursing or pre-med, we have a level 1 trauma center, which is right in the heart of campus, which is a full-fledged hospital. So students are able to get a lot of fantastic clinical opportunities and internship opportunities right there on campus as well. But we do encourage broad exploration at the University of Vermont. So say if you have a couple of different interests, we encourage students to do that double major or even have a major in a few different minors. We really like to talk about our distinctive qualities at the University of Vermont, right? And some of those distinctive qualities can on the surface seem a little bit contradictory. So for example, the University of Vermont is old. We were founded in 1791, and we are the 5th oldest institution in the New England area after Harvard, Yale, Dartmouth, and Brown. But we're also really new in the fact of constantly keeping pace with the changing world around us and just being cognizant of the ever-changing society that we find ourselves in. It is also true that we are both big and small, so we're really big in comparison to some of those smaller liberal arts schools across the country, but also really small in comparison to some of those larger national research institutions as well. It is also true that we are both urban and open. So with us being urban, we are located in the beautiful city of Burlington. The downtown area is just about a 10-minute walk from campus. And with us being open, that means that our natural landscape is open. So our campus is framed by the Green and Adirondack Mountains, and we sit right on Lake Champlain, which is the 6th largest freshwater lake in the United States. Experiential learning is a crucial part of a UVM education. So in addition to that really good knowledge and theory you're learning from your professors inside of the classroom, we value those outside of the classroom experiences just as much. So our students are participating in research, internships, study abroad, and service learning that actually take that knowledge outside of the classroom and make it come to life with these hands-on opportunities. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see some recent internships that our students have completed. This is just an abbreviated list. We have over hundreds of companies that our students have interned with. So these opportunities are really easy to find. You can find them via your professors, your academic advisors, or through our Career Center as well. I want to talk a little bit about diversity, equity, and inclusion at the University of Vermont as well, because it is something that we deeply value on campus, and we govern ourselves on campus by our 6 common core ground values that you see right here on the left-hand side of the screen. So those include respect, integrity, innovation, openness, justice, and responsibility. And we also have campus identity centers for students to come together and actively plan and engage with one another. And for students who share a common sense of identity, they can also serve as a second home. So we have our Mosaic Center for students of color. We have our Prism Center for any students who may identify as LGBTQIA+. We also have our Interfaith Center, in addition to our Women and Gender Equity Center as well. So all in all, we deeply value diversity, equity, and inclusion on campus, and we definitely want all students from all different backgrounds to feel right at home at the University of Vermont. A little bit about housing. All students are required to live in one of our living and learning communities in their first year at the University of Vermont. All first-time students are required to live on campus for 2 years. So for your freshman and sophomore year, you do have to live in the residence halls, but for that first year, you do have to live in one of our living and learning communities. Students rank these in order of preference on their housing application. So that's how students are placed into our living and learning communities, or LLCs is what we call them for short. So 90% of students are getting their first choice LLC, while that other 10% of students are getting their second choice LLC. So our Office of Housing and Residential Life do a really fantastic job of placing students where they want to be. All right, and lastly, a little bit about our admissions process. We utilize a holistic review process at the University of Vermont. So that means that we're just not taking a look at that grade point average or test score. If you choose to submit them, we will be test optional this coming recruitment cycle or this coming year for any rising seniors who are here. But we're taking a look at your letters of recommendation, your essays, all of your extracurricular activities as well, and using all of that to make a determination as to if you'll be a strong fit for the University of Vermont. You'll see some different averages here on the screen. Average GPA we see from students hovers around a 3.7. Average ACT that we've seen historically is going to hover around a 28 to a 34. Again, test optional this year. No need to submit that test score if you are looking to come to the University of Vermont for fall 2023. One last thing I'll talk about is our partnership with Noble Network Schools. Students who are at the Noble Network Schools and apply to the University of Vermont are eligible for a significant scholarship at UVM. So as long as you're filling out your FAFSA application, a lot of your tuition and room and board will be covered at the University of Vermont. So if you have some additional questions about that, feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my contact info in the chat. I think that's my time. So thank you all so much for being here today.
Thank you so much to all of our presenters today. We do have a few minutes left. And so I just wanted to invite all of our presenters to come back on, and I'll share my screen. And maybe we could share this question with everyone. What advice would you give to someone going through the college search process? Any advice that you would give to someone going through the college search process? And with that question, maybe we'll turn it over, we'll go back in order. And Albion College, any advice for someone going through the process?
Yep, my advice will be try to take advantage and visit the schools that you can. You can visit those schools in your vicinity. I know a lot of schools are having free trips to come visit campus. Albion has free bus trips every other month for students to come visit campus. So that's the best way you can get a feel of what college is like. So my advice is to try to, if you can, to visit those schools that you're interested in.
Thank you very much. Grand Valley State, any advice for someone going through the college search process?
My little piece of advice would be just to be aware of deadlines, to work closely with your high school counselor, to make sure that you submit your applications to colleges well ahead of those deadlines. And one reason is because in most cases, you will be notified much sooner when it comes to a decision on your file. But then the other reason is just so that you can be considered for as many merit-based scholarships as possible. So definitely be aware of deadlines and make sure you submit your applications ahead of them.
Thank you very much. Dominican University, any advice for someone going through the college search process?
I'll use a line that our VP Student Success always says is leverage your resources. Utilize all the resources when you do the college. As Albion mentioned, as Grand Valley State mentioned, scholarships. Also connect with your college counselors, but also connect if we're at school, we're interested in our come and talk to us and speak of connecting with us. I mean, we can connect you with somebody on our campus. Always make sure you leverage resources.
Thank you. Lake Forest University, any advice for someone going through the college search process?
Yes, so I know that pretty much all of us have already mentioned this in some way or another, but definitely take advantage of us as resources. We really are here to support you. I always tell students, of course, we want you to go to the colleges that we work for, but we also want to make sure that you are picking a college that makes the most sense for you and your circumstances and your needs. So I truly cannot emphasize that enough. But another thing that's more like technical, create a college email address where you can put all of the information about colleges to one place. Sometimes when you use your school email, it really makes things really cluttered. And then, like my colleagues have said, it's harder to pay attention to deadlines and what you need and all of that. So stay organized in that way as well. Oh, Greg, I believe that you are speaking on mute.
Sorry about that. Thank you very much. Let me get back to my screen here. There we go. Thank you to everyone for participating today. When you click off, you will get a 5-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback that you could give us. Also, remember to check back for additional sessions, and you can find those on the website. And remember, there's a recording of this at strivescan.com/noble. And I dropped that in the chat. I want to thank everyone for participating today, and have a great Friday.